This video chart presentation at ESP Resources Inc. ESP Resources is a bulletin board listed company trading our ticker ESPI. Doing some scans this morning, this chart caught my eye because it looks like it's taken on a big double bottom look. Support dips all the way down to just under 8 cents, but more realistically, it's pretty strong around 9 cents. That'd be a support level I'd be looking for to hold to see if this double bottom is going to play itself out. Histogram making slightly higher lows, in the more near term trending back towards zero over the last week. That tells me a bullish cross is about to happen to the 12 passing through the 26 EMA. Similarly, over the long term, PPO making higher lows, establishing an upward channel as it makes higher highs. Not a great look to the ADX, to be honest. Although the ADX is moving upward, pushing through 20, heading towards a true trend. Negative DI is moving up pretty sharply, which by definition the ADX doesn't really tell you a direction. That negative DI moving up says there's pressure in a bearish manner, and it's gaining speed by the ADX moving upward. So I'd pay attention to that. I'd look for a reversal in this negative DI. I'd want to see it snapping back down. But of course it ties into holding some support levels with the price. MFIs also indicate there was some selling. 7 turning sharply back down, bouncing off that 50 point. I always want to see the MFIs up above 50. Tells me that buying pressure is going on and it's trading at a higher price. Get a little bit of a different feel though from the accumulation distribution. It's been making new higher lows, pushing even higher. That says there's accumulation going on in the big picture. That's reiterated by Chaikin money flow, which is holding well in the green, saying that buying pressure is outweighing selling pressure over the last 20 periods. CCI, I want to see that hold above negative 100. Full stow, I want to see that push through 50 to show that there's stronger momentum building in the play. In the tricks, it's a lagging indicator, moves much more slowly, but it looks like it's starting to make a rotation, which could indicate a strengthening trend. RSIs, references quite regularly. Trends below 50 are bearish, trends above 50 are bullish. Has been holding below 50. Of course, that's because the stock's fallen from around 15 cents back down to that 10-cent range, even as low as 8.5. Right now, all 3 components that I use registering right at 50, so that's a pretty neutral reading all in all. Want to see it push to the upper half, though, to go into bull mode. One of the reasons that some of those indicators have snapped down, like the money flow index, is because of this long lower shadow. Appears there was some selling that went on. The stock pulled back up into the close, but long lower shadows will definitely throw off some of those volume-based indicators. As I mentioned, bottom support down there at 7.7, but I'd consider this area right around 9 cents to be a little bit more important, perhaps down as low as 8.5, but the support at 9's been pretty strong. Price per share has generally pulled back up and closed above that level. I'd want to see closing prices stay above there to reinforce the idea it's going to try and make a move and come back off support. Now from a resistance standpoint, I do see some picking up right there around 10.5 cents, which is only slightly above yesterday's close of 10.2. But that would be the first area of resistance I'd expected to see. Then, of course, is the 50-day moving average, which adds some dynamic resistance. There's a little bit of secondary resistance mixed in there as well at 12 cents. That's approaching the 200-day moving average, which is typically a pretty difficult dynamic resistance. But I'd put top-end resistance on this at 15 cents. That would be a breakout point for the pattern. That's a pretty substantial upside from where it is right now. Now, it's notable last time it made its move off this bottom, it took more than a month to finally put together the strong climb. So it isn't necessarily something that I'm looking for tomorrow. First and foremost, I'd be watching for the support. Then I'd be looking for the move above the 50-day moving average. And down the road, I'd want to have a close eye on it if it wants to challenge resistance at 15. At that point, I'd want to see volume surge, because main resistance points, you want to see volume as strong as possible to take those levels out. Any pullback, hold that old resistance as a new support level. Still very early on in the pattern, but when a chart's taken on this sort of look, it immediately catches my eye to see if the pattern is going to play itself out. Those are the type of things that I'd be looking for in the ESPI chart, but as always, it's merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching and trade smart.